Oh yes, you are watching this correctly. I did go and see Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2, and I have the evidence. Look, evidence there, I did go and see it, and if you really want to know what the story is, basically the trailers for it explained everything. Like, you know, Edward and Bella gave birth to this child that's half vampire, half human. Bella's now a vampire. Altori don't sort of like it, they think it's an immortal child, they're on the way to sort of kill it, and then the Cullens just, you know, gather people to sort of help them, you know, witnesses, blah 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 blah. This film, I am sorry, this film is really boring as hell. Like, from start to finish it is boring, but it has also really sort of pissed me off in a way. The first half hour of this film is basically just all about Bella, right? Bella getting to grips of being a vampire and that. And then like the next half to 40 minutes is about, you know, the Valtori and the Cullens spreading out across the world to find people, which kind of really does kind of piss me off in a way, because we never really sort of see these people, not to what I know, throughout like the whole like Twilight saga, whatnot, not to like my knowledge or what I've seen in trailers. So for them just to sort of appear out of nowhere and for some way to have these sort of abilities. One of the vampires has the sort of the avatar, you know, the last Endbender avatar, like he kind of like controls the elements. That I think they really should not have put in. I mean, it was complete, I think it was a complete and utter shambles that they put that into it, because it's taking like sort of a great TV series, or if you really want to count out the shitey film that came out, and putting it into this even more kind of crap shitey film, basically. And, right, the thing that sort of pissed me off, firstly, right, is it's practically just at the end of the film, right? Now, I'm not going to sort of spoil the first one I'm going to talk about, because you do see it in the trailer, right? It says battle that these vampires are having between the Valtori. You know, you're seeing limbs, heads are flying off, but no blood. They're basically just like mannequins. Like mannequins facing mannequins. There's no blood, there's nothing. The only blood I saw throughout the whole film that I can recall and remember is there was a hill climber at this, or a cliff climber, at the start of the film. He scraped his knee and there was a bit of blood. That was the only bit of blood I saw throughout the whole film. And I was really sort of pissed off at this. And one other thing I was really pissed off was like the sort of costume design. And it was very cheesy, cheap. I mean, obviously it was cheap because they spent most of the money on the CGI dogs. And the end, right? There's practically two things, right? There's something that happens in the end that will either you'll be surprised at and might just take a bit of grain of salt, or you'll be like me, who literally got really sort of pissed off by it, because I thought it was a slap in the face with like a wet towel that had been wet for quite a while, because it was just like, you build it up for this, you build it up and then this happens and you're just kind of like, well, that was all for nothing basically. And then it's like the end, it gets too lovey-dovey, and then sort of the credits, like they sort of credit like sort of nearly in like every single person that was in like every Twilight film. And I mean, that's fine if you've watched every Twilight film like from start to this one, but I've only seen the first one and that's just about it. So to see these other people in it, you're kind of like, who's that? I didn't see that in it. So I thought it was like, really waste of space. There was only one good redeeming quality about the whole film. It's actually from unlikely sources, is Taylor Lautner. Like, this guy was, you know, brilliant in this film. He was the best thing of the film entirely, and it's, you know, the whole thing, like, he takes his shirt off, right? It's, you know, it's one of those everything that he does, right? He does it to Bella's dad, right, this probably is a spoiler, and I'm sorry if I've actually announced this, but you see him taking off like his shirt and his clothes in front of this guy, and you're probably thinking like, dude, what the fuck, like just change already, like just forget about the clothes. I'm pretty sure he's got spares, right? But other than that, ugh, this film was just dull, boring, and a waste of time of watching. I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. But Twilight can have pride in this. It's not the worst film I've seen this year. Well, not the worst film I've seen this year. It is a bad film, and it is going to be my top 10 worst films of this year. But it can take on pride that it's not the worst. So there is that. And it's such a shame though that this film is going to make so much money because it's just so utterly bad.